Hello everybody, it's the Historical Gamer once again, and today we're returning to our look at War on the Sea, a new game out by Killerfish Games, the developers of Cold Waters and Atlantic Fleet. This is a game that looks at the South Pacific during World War II, specifically around the Guadalcanal campaign. And in today's video, we're returning to our Let's Play series. We've recently sunk the Japanese battleship Yamato, and we are now hopefully beginning the phase which will allow us to start a counterattack. I don't think we'll get there in tonight's stream, but I am hoping that we can continue to kind of keep Guadalcanal's airfield shut down. We've been bombarding it very consistently. While we build Rennell Island up into a resupply point, we only need 200 more engineering. We're basically a week away from having enough engineering to be able to do that. And then we'll be, able to build Rennell up into a resupply point for battleships, so then we can just start a shuttle service to keep Guadalcanal, the Florida Islands, and Melilla all shut down sort of permanently, so that we can hopefully, keep this area devoid of enemy air cover to set it up for an eventual counterattack. Meanwhile, in New Guinea, Port Moresby might well fall this turn. We're down to 121 troops, heavily outnumbered, although they do have supplies. And Milne Bay, meanwhile, is turning in our favor. We brought in quite a bit of supply last turn to try and turn the tide of the battle there. So I'm hopeful that we'll be able to, probably not in this turn, but very shortly, keep Milne Bay in our control. And then we're also sending some emergency reinforcements into the Santa Cruz Islands. We don't have enough troops there to hold it likely, but I'm just hoping to force a delaying action. So we've got about 1,100 troops. I think we sent about 1,000 reinforcements last turn, and we've got another task force here headed up this way with a further, I think it's a further 1,000 troops. So it'll bring us up to 2,200 troops or 2,100 troops. That should hopefully keep us, holding that base until Milne Bay is sort of ejected of Japanese troops. Once Milne Bay is secured, then we can probably take, 8,000 of these guys, land them on Port Moresby, retake Port Moresby, while we continue to shuffle in a few reinforcements to keep Santa Cruz clear of the enemy. And then once we clear Santa Cruz, then we can begin our counterattack at Guadalcanal. At least that's sort of my thinking right now. It is 1,500 hours in September of 1942, and I have set up a whole bunch of air patrols, so hopefully we can see if there's any enemy troops that might arrive in the middle of the night. Our battleship task force, which recently bombarded Guadalcanal, is on the way back to New Hebrides to refuel and resupply. I set up a new supply convoy to bring in additional engineers into Rennell Island, and then I also did send up a supply task force to bring supplies into Milne Bay to try and get that supply to troop ratio to 1-to-1 to optimize our fighting there. We've also set up a whole bunch of air patrols to try and see what the enemy might have in store for us before nightfall comes, and that's where we fall on September 21st, 1942. So let's go ahead and get started. Look at all those aircraft just going out. Ooh, all right, so we got one enemy submarine located up here to the northwest. I still have daylight left, so I'm going to go ahead and get some Avengers armed with, let's give them rockets. Let's go ahead and have them take off the carrier and go try to hunt this enemy sub down. Alright, we detected another enemy submarine up here. I've got some B-17s that are in a patrol pattern. I'm going to go ahead and pull them off patrol pattern and send them up here to deal with this enemy sub. Can I lose that squeal, P. Warner? What are you talking about? Okay, so these... Oh, when the notification pops up? No, I don't think there's any way I can do that. I can turn the volume down, but that's about all I can do. Alright, tactical map, let's go. Let's go get these boys. Let's find this enemy sub. All right, it's actually behind us. Interesting. Go get it, boys. Hopefully you attack it before it submerges. Go ahead and speed these guys up. All right, I don't think this guy has any hope of submerging in time. Gotta love that flight of Avengers here. There's gonna be a lot of rockets. It's gonna be a bad day for this sub. Can we see the aircraft coming in on him yet? Not yet. I mean, maybe he'll get under. I don't think he will. And the rocket's red glare. Can we see the sub? We can see the sub dead ahead. Why aren't we moving faster, guys? I told you to move at 190 knots. Yeah, they don't want to move faster. Hope he doesn't get down in time. Oh, there's the flight. They're coming in here. We'll take a look at this from the sub viewpoint. Fortunate sun intensifies. His dive planes are down and he's biting into that water, but he's, oh boy. Rip to them if they're going to think they're going to hold this off with anti-aircraft fire. Oh, he did damage one of them. That's a lot of rocket hits, I think. He's going right down. Right down. That sub did not. Look at the hull. It just ripped all to shreds. I'm assuming this guy's gonna sink. Yeah, okay. It's not, we're not even gonna walk. There we go. He's dead. Okay. Involuntary submersion, yeah. Okay, so that was a victory. Oh, we see you're submerging. Let's help. All right, so we've got this enemy sub out this way. We've got B-17s on the way over there. Ooh, Kingfisher spotted something interesting. 2 destroyers and 2 light cruisers in the Solomon Sea. I don't think I want to pull my covering task force of Milne Bay quite that far north. But it's good to see we're not seeing any enemy troop transports. Alright, B-17's right on top of this guy. So let's jump into tactical mode and drop a whole bunch of hurt on this enemy sub. It's almost sunset now. Okay, so our 17's got to turn around to engage him. Not quite sure how far out they are. Not very, I don't think. So it'll be interesting to see if we get this guy on the surface or if he dives, but if he dives, I don't think it'll matter. Need more Tiny Tim. Whoa, weaving through formations with no collisions. Gotta love it. Alright. Do you have any final words, Mr. Submarine? The last sub is now the Imperial Japanese Navy Colander. Your final words are glub? All right, I can deal with that. I don't think Japanese submarines had radar. At least not at this stage of the war. If their cruisers didn't, I'm sure their subs didn't. Yes, the parade formation of the B-17s coming in just under the cloud cover to level bomb this poor, hapless Japanese submarine. Yet another enemy submarine will bite the dust. Oh, she's nosing down, though. We'll see if she gets underwater. I've seen that being underwater under enemy bombs tends to be actually worse for the submarine, though. Here they come. Yeah, you fire anti-aircraft. Bombs away, boys. Here they come. You can see the little dots falling. Oof. Most of our bombs overshot, but we did get at least one good hit on there. It may not be enough to sink it, though. It's possible he could blow ballast and get up. We'll see. It's going down pretty quick, though. Also, it doesn't appear to have any propulsion, as far as I can tell. Yep, never mind. Got him. He's gone. There you go. Another enemy submarine sunk. So far, in our stream, we've been going for less than 20 minutes, and we have sunk 2 Japanese submarines here. What were those subs? They were a B1, 2 B1s. So the enemy has lost 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Shouldn't have to manually count this. 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. I think they've lost all but 4 of their subs. I think they only have 26 subs on the entire fleet that's at least deployable in the game for them. So they're in trouble. All right. Hey, Junyo, good to see you again. Sorry if my audio's off, guys. I know I was kind of fiddling with it at the start of the stream. I've been trying to... Oh, there's another enemy task force. 2 destroyers, 1 battleship? Well, we haven't detected enemy ships around here. We do have the Hornet. How about we go get her? It's going to take us a day to get over here to the west, but we can use this Hornet task force to go after this enemy battleship. I wonder if it's another Yamato class. If you guys remember, we sank the Yamato a little while ago, but they do still have the Musashi. So maybe the enemy's got the Yamato out here. I have a ton of scout planes that I started the stream with. So they've got this light cruiser destroyer task force to the south, but then to the north it seems like they've got a 2 destroyer, 1 battleship task force, which is the exact same composition as the Yamato was when we sank her. Although, no, actually they had a heavy cruiser, didn't they? All right, these guys are heading south and maybe east. So we'll have to see. We're going to sail west. Crank the speed up a bit. 3 destroyers down here. I wonder if they're making a play for Milne Bay, so it's probably a good thing to move the carriers. Maybe not quite as direct that way. But they could be making a play to bombard Milne Bay. It's nighttime, though, so I can't throw more aircraft up for a few more hours. Hornet's the only carrier I have deployed right now, but the game does have, what is it, Hornet and Enterprise? My battleships, I thought I told them to go back to New Hebrides. Should have been going that way the whole time. Meanwhile, additional reinforcements should arrive here now at Santa Cruz Islands, so let's go ahead and move them a little bit closer. Alright, so we'll go ahead and unload these guys. So another 1,000 soldiers on Santa Cruz gets us up to about 2,000 soldiers. So we can see here, it starts getting the odds a little bit more in our favor. Not quite where we want them to be. Milne Bay still sitting right about where it was at the start of the stream. Let's go ahead and fast forward till 5 o'clock in the morning when we can get our air operations going. All right, 5:01. So let's go ahead and launch aircraft. We're going to be doing flights of 1 Kingfisher each. So these guys are going to head out this way. The interesting thing is the game now seems to let me launch multiple strikes or multiple, at least single aircraft launches from a single ship, which is cool. I don't know if that was a change they made in a recent patch, but it sure makes it easier to set up patrol lanes. Although I really wish they would show me like the courses of all my different aircraft, because I'm not really sure. And I can use this filter down here for the aircraft filter so that we can keep pulling up more aircraft. So we can get this daylight scouting run going. Yeah, automation for a naval search would sure be nice. Like, if War in the Pacific lets you set search patterns and things like that, you'd think this game would. Or should. Okay. Alright, so we got our float planes off of that task force. Let's go ahead and get our float planes off of... Well, actually, I don't have any float planes here. It's just my, my fighter aircraft, so we'll just send 1 Wildcat each, I guess. First one to the point, that tip. Send another one here. So we got 1 to the point of here, 1 here. Actually, no, that should be a more central course. Then this one will go just on that southern island. I know this is a little bit tedious, but I think it's relevant. You know, do it at least once a day, I think is generally a good rule of thumb. Using my fighters as scouting aircraft so I can free up my bombers for more interesting duties than just recon. Okay. We'll be done with this soon, guys, I swear. I'm just not sure how far they could have gotten in the night. I think that's the challenge. Alright, so we did it between these two, so we should put a next one up towards Shortland. Okay. That one was at Shortland, so let's put one more. I don't want to get rid of all my Wildcats. I need at least 12 for covering the fleet. But I think between this task force and the Hornet, that's probably good now. All right. So you can see these different aircraft are heading out, looking for what might be out there. The destroyers are heading down the slot. Interesting. Let's let the recon continue. See if we pick up where the battleships are. We got I guess our wildcats are engaging what I assume to be an enemy scout plane out this way. A lone wildcat on a very lonely voyage. Anything new with the update, Pasco? I think they changed the rules on... I think they made it so that enemy recon planes won't, like, spam you once they detect your task force, and they won't launch fighters against recon aircraft, I think. I didn't get through all the patch notes, Pasco. Alright, so I'm gonna disengage there. So we got the destroyer heading down the slot. Oh, yes. 3 oilers, 3 merchants, 3 light cruisers, 2 destroyers. That is a target worth pursuing. Change course. Head east. I'm guessing the battleship may be in the general vicinity as well. How's the, Okay. Also, this will, if we can hit these guys, it will prevent them from being able to, what do they have again? 2 light cruisers, 2 destroyers, 3 oilers, and 3 merchants. So if we can hit them, that'll also prevent them from being able to build up the airfields in the area as well. What do we want to go against this task force? I'm thinking Avengers. Dauntlesses seem better against enemy heavy ships. So I'm thinking torpedo bombers, given that they'll probably have some duds and things like that. So I think the first thing is a flight of 12 Avengers. And they can reach up there. They've got pretty good range, so we'll have them head up northeast. Ignore that. These guys returning low on fuel. Alright, so we're going to have to estimate where they might be. I'm surprised we haven't detected the battleships. There's a float plane. Don't really want to fight that float plane. Oh, we got 2 wildcats on here, huh? I guess we probably do want to shoot it down so it doesn't detect our fleet. Hey, Chainsaw Gothic, thanks for the follow. Alright. Oh, he's right there. Lol. Like, how did you not spot him sooner? Alright, we got 2 wildcats, both returning to base. We don't want to let the enemy find out where our carriers are, so we'll go ahead and send both our wildcats in there. This is a cruiser float plane. No, actually, maybe it's a sub. I don't know. It's got 2. They only have like 2 or 3 subs left, though, so... You've got the float plane on your 6! Look out! Dude, come on. You're better than this. Get around on that guy. Come on, you can do it. Yeah, keep weaving in front of him. That's a great tactic. Don't make me take control of this AI. Me playing War Thunder. Okay, this AI is pissing me off. I'm taking over, guys. Left turn. Hard left turn. You've got to be able to outturn a damn enemy float plane. It's got pontoons hanging off the thing. It can't be that maneuverable. How groggy would I say this game? This game is not terribly groggy. I will say the one thing, and I recently recorded a podcast about this, although we haven't published it yet. The one thing I will say about this game is it is more complex than I think the UI would make you think. Like, the presentation of Killerfish games tends to be like, oh, this is a simple, super approachable kind of a game in terms of, like, just the really simplistic layout. Sometimes that's a problem, because the game is actually more complex than the UI would belie. And so I do think that is something to keep in mind. But overall, I don't think it's too complex. I think it is... I do think it is, you know, it could use some work. The AI is not the greatest. But I wouldn't call it a groggy game. I wouldn't call it like a beer and pretzel game either, but it's nothing like Gary Grigsby or anything like that. Slow down. We got some hits there. I saw it's smoking. Yeah, good UI design is 100% difficult. I agree with you there. All right, we got another hit on it. I think one more and it'll burst into flames. Oh, he's going to come behind me then. Got him. Yeah, I think the way air combat works is aircraft take 3 hits. Once they take 3 hits, they crash. I'm not sure if like 4-engine or 2-engine planes have different rules, but that seems to be the general rule of thumb with the game. All right, so we shot down that enemy aircraft. Our Avengers are on their way toward these guys. Do any of our other guys over here? Actually, what we can do, let's get new air going off of Rennell. Let's go ahead and see what Rennell can see. I'm a little bit worried that those enemy battleships just kind of disappeared. I'm going to assume they're in the slot maybe north of these guys, like up here somewhere, or maybe south. Rennell should be able to give us a better picture, though. So let's go ahead and have our Wildcats fly off Rennell in a scouting mission. We'll have one more go off here. All right. So these guys should beat the Avengers to the punch. Our carrier is turning back the other way to move closer to the enemy task forces heading down the slot. Well, there's the battleship. Is she going right for me? They're coming right for us! Alright, so can I launch another flight yet, or is the Hornet's deck still... Alright, we need to wait a little bit. Kingfisher spotted. 3 destroyers up here in the Solomon Sea. Hornet ready to launch aircraft. Good for you, boys. Alright, let's get the Dauntlesses off. 12 Dauntlesses, of course, directly at these battleships that are trying to close with us. Meanwhile, let's have the carrier pulled back a little bit. Don't want to get task force, I don't want to get Taffy 3. Taffy 3? Was it Taffy or Laffy? I think it was Taffy 3. I don't want to get Taffy 3. Alright. Sethandos, thank you very much for the follow. Where are these guys? Here they are. So Avengers are on their way over here. We could divert the Avengers. They probably have enough fuel to go after the battleships, but I do want to get the Oilers. I gotta make sure they can't build Guadalcanal up. So let's go ahead and jump into the tactical and attack with these Dauntlesses first, and we'll see what happens here. There they are. That is, I think that's Musashi, boys. Nope, it's a Congo. Never mind. Alright, so we got another Congo-class battleship here. I'm not going to go after the destroyers at all. I'm just going to have my my dive bombers go after the big boy. So let's get ahead of this guy, and then we're going to attack straight down its throat. Can you launch combined Dauntless Avenger flights? No, you have to launch them independently, which is a problem in the game. I don't think carrier versus carrier combat is terribly well modeled. I do really like the way the game treats actual air attacks on shipping, except for the AI being stupid and not like maneuvering. But I do think the game has a problem when it comes to modeling carrier versus carrier engagements. All right, so let's go ahead and do this. We're going to go ahead and have these 4 aircraft form up in a line ahead. And then we're going to go ahead and have them attack the enemy battleship, which is number 2 in the formation here. We're going to go ahead and have Dauntless 5, the leader of this next group, also form up in line ahead. Oxlorn, thank you very much for the 5 tier 1 subs, dude. That's really appreciated. Very generous of you. So congratulations to Polynesian Pinball, Bast, Worshipper, Poetic Wine 99, Ninja Dropout, and Naps More, the recipients of the gift subs from Oxlorn. Okay, so let's go ahead. We're going to continue this way. Our first flight's going to turn in and try and go down their throat. Second flight, I think this is about as good a spot as any. Go ahead and form up in line. Then go ahead and attack as well. Dr. Memory, thanks for the follow. And then we'll leave that third group of Dauntlesses behind. I don't know if these guys are going to actually form up here in line. They seem to be going in a weird formation. So we'll give them a second here to form up in what kind of is supposed to be a line in any event. Sort of a line. Alright, now you can attack, boys. And as soon as I order the attack, then they kind of stop their jostling for position. The other group's coming in behind. We're about to nose over. Bombs away! Multiple big hits there. Second group's going down. It's actually maneuvering after it took hits. Oh, wow. 2 big hits. At least two 1,000-pounders into her, I think. All right, so let's get that third group of Dauntlesses. Didn't look like we lost a single aircraft, by the way, in that lead formation. I don't know why they're flying around in circles, because now they may die. But we'll have these guys turn in and attack. Yeah, I can't imagine flying through anti-aircraft fire head-on like that. Although at least in the case of the American pilots, they had the advantage that Japanese anti-aircraft was not perhaps as formidable as maybe it should have been. You would think they would have put more effort behind anti-aircraft, given they were like pioneers of naval aviation. All right, so we've got them lined up in line here. We'll go ahead and get these Dauntlesses heading in. I mean, she's in trouble. She's dead in the water, very low in the water. It would be tempting to go after the destroyers, but I want to make sure we finish her off. It is a Congo, so she's not going to take as much punishment. So the anti-aircraft fire looks like it's started. Coming in here. We'll focus on the Congo itself. What was that group that just flew overhead? Some other planes just flew right overhead? Okay. Oh shit, enemy aircraft spotted? There's zeros. Or, it looks like there's zeros. Alright boys, don't get shot down. I don't know where those enemy zeros came from. Maybe they flew up from Guadalcanal. Here they come. Too late for the enemy aircraft to help. Bombs are away. I think those are mostly small hits. We might have gotten 1,000-pounder. We got 2 hits there and a dud. But they look like small explosions. Doesn't matter, though. The enemy ship's going down. Meanwhile, these enemy zeros are probably going to teach our... That's going to be a problem. Because these are Dauntlesses for my carrier, so I'm going to have to return my carrier to port to get them out of there. At least my first 2 flights, I think, are safe. Can I get out of this thing? I got to wait 30 seconds. Aircraft 2 down. Oh, we shot an enemy 0 down! Lol. Oh, man. No, we just lost a Dauntless. Actually, we lost 2. 12 and 10. I want to stick around and take pictures of this guy going down, but I don't want to lose more fighters, so I'm going to go ahead, or more aircraft, so I lost a third there. We ended up losing 3 Dauntlesses. We ended up sinking a 32,150-ton battleship here. Hell yeah. 32 command points. Alright, so our task force should be safe, I think, at this point. I don't know that I would want to have the Hornet launch more aircraft. I'm gonna guess, but I don't know. Where are those zeros coming from, by the way? I guess they could have come up from Shortlands, but that's a long flight. But we had so many recon aircraft out here, I don't think there's any way that it's an enemy carrier task force. Which Congo? Good question. Let's go ahead and take a look at the enemy losses here. 32,000 tonner. She was the Hiei. Can I get the Enterprise? I could. I don't have the points right now, but I could purchase it. Actually, I think Enterprise is currently in dry dock. She took 3 torpedoes a few days back, so she's going to be out of action for a while. All right, well, that being said, guys, we're going to go ahead and jump in here and wrap this episode up. Our aircraft carriers reigned supreme once again. Not only did we sink the Yamato a couple of episodes back, but now we sank the Congo. There's clearly been a change in the guard from the early scenarios where everything was dominated largely either by land-based air or by naval gunfire, but now the aircraft carrier is in charge, as it should be based on World War II. I hope you guys enjoyed this look at War on the Sea, a new real-time tactical naval combat game developed by the folks at Killerfish Games. And as always, guys, that's where we're going to wrap it up here. So as always, this is the Historical Gamer once again saying thank you very much for tuning in. Thank you for the support. And as always, until next time, I'm out.